Okay, so we are live.
Should I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Shankaraj Subramanian here. Let me share my screen. Yes. I hope my screen is shared and you're able to view my screen. You guys are able to see my notepad?
Yes, sir.
Yes, perfect. So glad to meet you in this talk. And today's topic is about cybercrime and online attacks. Cyber crimes, yes, it's on a high rise during this lockdown, and a lot of different types of cyber crimes have been reported, especially during this lockdown, with increased cases. The first one being uh, online gambling, which is one of the top crimes which is being occurring right now with fake websites, phishing based attacks, wherein regards to email phishing or whatever mass mail campaign which is ongoing, and fake ads like recently many types of cybercrimes which is related to OLX, online e-commerce platforms, wherein you have a seller who pretends to be selling a particular product. Say, for example, he's selling an iPhone. He sells an iPhone 12, which will cost you more than 1 lakh, and he pretends to be selling this for like 20,000 and says it is a imported customs piece. What he has, and yes, seeing this offer which is very tempting, we have lots of buyers, and he also offers you that you can send him 10,000, and after you receive the product and if you feel satisfied, you can send back the remaining amount. With this in place, with this in place, probably everyone will be tempted, and you will be sending the seller 10,000 rupees, but after that he's gone. So these kind of attacks have been recently on the high verge. One good suggestion what can happen is, you should be filing a cybercrime complaint. It's not a cybercrime complaint, you need to file an FIR. The main misconception about filing a complaint in cybercrime is, once if you file a complaint, that is just a message, or that's just an intimation that this kind of cybercrime has occurred. That is okay, but you should always insist on filing an FIR. Only when you have filed an FIR, probably that will be considered in under a cybercrime case, and cybercrime department people will act upon that. Right? So filing a complaint is okay, but you should also look at filing an FIR. This will be legal. This can happen for a mobile missing case. This can happen for any cybercrime which has happened online with regards to money transactions or data loss or whatever it is. So online cybercrime complaint portals are there, but with increased number of cybercrimes, probably that is less effective. So go to your nearby cybercrime police station and then file a complaint. That will be good, and then proceed with filing an FIR as well, and your cases will be taken care of. Right. So when we look at attackers and how online attacks happen, we'll consider websites for today's session. In case if you have a website, this can be your target website. A target website for an attacker, it can be anything. We'll consider a college website for today's example. We'll take the usual kct.ac.in. This is a college here in Tamil Nadu. So in case if you are the attacker here, and this is your target. This is your target. I'll tell you how an attacker, what methodologies he use, what happens with an attacker, and what tools he is going to use, and what information he is going to gather, and how he is going to proceed with the attack scenario. Right? For this, you need to understand the basics of networks. You need to understand the basics of servers, and you should have some knowledge of Linux operating system. With this knowledge, you can have a meaningful attack, or any attacker can perform an attack on any of his targets. So the first thing will be information gathering. The information gathering phase, wherein the attacker tries to grab as much as of information about his target. Now you know kct.ac.in is a particular website like this. Give me 1 second. This is okay. So you have kct.ac.in. This is a college website. It's Kumaraguru College of Technology. Perfect. And what information you should be gathering about this college will be this. So when we have a target like this, www.kct.ac.in, the first information gathering, you should know what type of server they are using. Before that, you should know what is the IP address of this particular target, what technologies are being used, and where they have hosted their services, and what programming languages are used. And when it comes to server, you should know whether they have a mail server, whether they have a database server, or whether they have an FTP server, and what is the IP address of all these servers. Fine. This will be the basic information gathering which will be done by any attacker. And obviously a content management system, what is being used. Content management system is something which is used for building a website. So when you have all these details, you will get an idea of about your target, technical details about your target, and after this you can go for subdomain enumeration. Subdomain enumeration, wherein yes, we have one website called kct.ac.in. Yes, so you have this domain called kct.ac.in. But in case if your objective is this, if your objective is to attack the financial details or transactions of KCT College, if this is your objective, so you should be looking at subdomain enumeration. Subdomain enumeration is going to give you all the details with regards to subdomains which this particular domain owns. So first, let's complete information gathering, and then we'll go for this. IP address, it will be as simple as that. Open up command prompt, and in command prompt, try to ping kct.ac.in, enter, and probably you will get the IP address of the web server. So this will be the IP address of the web server which is responding to you. Fine. And what type of server they are using? For this, you can go for inbuilt extensions like Vapalizer, which is very common, or you can go for builtwith.com, which is a web-based tool. We'll go for Vapalizer. Vapalizer is a browser-based extension which you can install in your browser. And when you look at this, I have Vapalizer which is running here. You can visit any website. Not only this, we'll go to Flipkart. You can browse to any website. Vapalizer, which is running at the top here, is going to analyze the entire site, and it is going to give you the details about this site, technical details about this particular website. So we'll go for our target here, KCT College. Open this, and now you can see KCT uses a content management system called WordPress. They have used WordPress to build their website, and you have the version details here. And the database, what they are using is MySQL. And when you scroll down, the programming language is PHP, and they have hosted their services in Cloudflare, cloud-based services, and other technologies what is being used. So as simple as that. Or you can go for builtwith.com, which is again going to give you a lot of details about your target. So copy this, builtwith.com. It is going to give you the entire technological profile. You can get a detailed technology profile, metadata profile, relationship profile, redirect profile. You can get anything and everything with builtwith.com. So when I scroll down, what widgets are being used? It uses WordPress plugins, very obvious. When you scroll down, what frameworks are used? They have used PHP, again, content CDN, they have used Ajax libraries, Facebook CDN, jQuery CDN, they have used a lot of CDN and Cloudflare. And again, when you scroll down for payment, they are using Visa for usage statistics. Content management system is WordPress, perfect, and a lot of other details. Fine. Having said this, now you should be able to fill in this with a lot of details. So what database server they are using? They are using MySQL database, and they have a web server, and the IP address of the web server is this. And technologies used, what technologies are used? Hosted, they are hosted in Cloudflare. Programming languages, what programming languages they have used? Programming language, if you go here, PHP, programming language, what they have used is PHP. So now with all these details, whatever you have got, then you'll have to move on with subdomain enumeration. You might ask me, what am I going to do with all these details? Why am I gathering information about my target like this? The reason for this can be like this. To give you a very non-technical example, in case if you have a target, your target is in Delhi, it is actually a person, and what is your objective? Your objective is to attack or compromise his mobile. So if this is your objective, what is the first thing which will do? You being here in Bangalore or you being in Mumbai, what is the first thing which you will do? You will gather information about your target device. So first you need to know whether he is using iPhone or Android. That will be the first information which you will be gathering. In case if he is using iPhone, then probably the tools or the methodologies what you will use can be like this: X plus Y plus Z, different types of tools and methodologies. In case if he is using Android, you might be using again a different types of tools like this, methodologies and tools. Fine. In case if he is using iPhone and you, without gathering information about your target, you have invested a lot on these tools and softwares, and if you're trying to attack your target, you might not be getting the results. Why? Because you are using the wrong tools and methodologies to attack your target. For this reason, now we have taken KCT, and what are the technical details which we have got? We know they are using WordPress. So the tools, the exploitation tools, what I might look at will be related to WordPress. So I'll be searching what type of tools can be used for exploiting a WordPress, a site which is hosted in WordPress, and they have MySQL. So I might be using a different tool set for attacking SQL database. Right? They have Cloudflare. They are hosted in Cloudflare. So I might be looking at different exploits and different vulnerabilities which are hosted for the servers which is hosted in Cloudflare. So you need to get all these information. Few websites might be using an Apache server. Few will be using a Microsoft server. So first you need to identify, you need to relate what your target is using. Based on that, you will proceed with the remaining things. Fine. So after this, coming to subdomain enumeration, what do you mean by subdomain enumeration? We need to find what subdomains does this have. We have web-based tools. We have OS-based tools. We have a lot of tools here. So we'll go for web-based tool. One common website can be virustotal.com, which is a very common website for subdomain enumeration, or you can go for crt.sh, which is most commonly used in bug hunting. So we'll go for these two websites, and I'll tell you what can happen, what sort of information you can get with regards to subdomain enumeration. Why we go for subdomain enumeration? Because you have a specific objective here. You need to grab the financial details or transactions of kct.ac.in. So KCT can have multiple servers like this. Okay, give me 1 second. Yep. Oh, fine. So you being here as an attacker, you are connected with internet, and this is kct.ac.in, and you're able to browse their website in your laptop, which means they have a web server. Yes, so it is very obvious they have a web server. Now you know they have a database server, and they can also have a mail server in case if they have mail services like this. You need to find out in case if they have any servers for finance, accounts, or anything, in case if they maintain a specific server. And the IP address of KCT, what you have found here is this 104.27.142.153. Like this, you also need to find out the IP address of this particular server, the IP address of this particular server, and the IP address of this particular server. When you have identified the IP address of the server which is responsible for the financial transactions, then your target, you will be attacking not the web server IP address, because that is totally a different server. You will be targeting this particular server which has details of all financial transactions. For this, first we need to identify how many subdomains they have, what subdomains they have, and what is the what is the content of these subdomains. So having said this, I'll move on to the first site, which is virustotal.com. Virustotal.com is a very useful site for checking a lot of other things, but we'll move on to search here, and I'll give it kct.ac.in, which is my target website. Enter, and the site says, virustotal.com says the site is clean. It is not a malicious website. Perfect. Now we'll go to details. When you go to details, you can have a look at the DNS records, which is not needed as of now. We'll go to HTTPS certificate, which is not needed. You can scroll down. Whois lookup is going to give you basic information about the site. When this site was created, it was created in 2003, and city, it is in India. It gives you a lot of details like this, and Google results, it is going to give you the basic Google results, but we are targeting subdomain enumeration here. So probably we'll go for relations, and in relations you go for siblings. You expand this, fine. Now when you look at this, see here we have demo.kct.ac.in, which has a different IP address. We have placement.kct.ac.in, which comes under the web server. How can we identify this? Because we know 104.27.143.153, that is the web server's IP address. Yes, that is the web server's IP address here. So the placement server comes under this. This is how you map. This is how attackers map your infrastructure. And then we have Chess Academy, leave that. Smart apps, yes. Student corner, yes. So we have two more things here. We have smart apps, and you also have students corner, which is hosted in the web server. And what about others? We have entry, parent, fees payment. See here, you have an option for fees payment, and you are targeting something related to financial transactions. So you might be looking at this fees payment.kct.ac.in. You have admissions, you have Telegram, this blog, events, parents. Okay, now we'll look at this fees payment.kct.ac.in. So it is 13.126.176.119. So this is the IP address of the server which handles all the financial transactions. Now I hope you should be knowing the difference between attacking this server and this server. Both are different servers with different IP address. Say if you use a tool called X, you have purchased this for 2 lakhs. Imagine you have bought this tool for 2 lakhs from dark web, deep web, and this is capable of exploiting servers. And in this server, in this tool, you will have to give an input. What will be the input? the input will be the IP address of your target. And in the IP address of your target, in case if you give 104.27.142.153, which is the IP address of the web server, placement server, smart apps, and students corner, and you try to exploit this, you will not get any output. Why? Because you are targeting the wrong server here. But instead, if you go for the server 13.126.176.119, then chances of an attacker getting an output will be high. Fine, you might be able to crack into the server. So it is always good to enumerate subdomains. Subdomains can give you enough information. It can help attackers to map the internal infrastructure and the server configuration like this. Fine, and you can also go for crt.sh, which is again a web-based tool. We'll go to crt.sh. crt.sh. We'll give kct.ac.in, enter, and based on the certificates which is being generated, it is going to give you a lot of subdomains here. demo.kct.ac.in, placement, SNI, Cloudflare SSL, entry, SNI Cloudflare. See, you have fees payment. You have fees payment here, parent. You have a lot of subdomains which you can enumerate. Fees payment. Yes. So from this also you can enumerate subdomains which can be useful. And after you have done this, we can go for scanning phase. After subdomain enumeration, you can go for scanning phase. And what do you do in scanning phase? We enumerate further more information about your target. And we also confirm the details what we got from information gathering. You wanted to confirm whether the information what you got from information gathering is true, and you'll also enumerate some more details. So for this purpose, the universal tool what you can use is Nmap, or you can go for a tool called ZenMap, which is a graphical user interface. Now we'll go with Nmap. Nmap is a network mapper, which is one universal tool for scanning. It can perform a lot of scanning. Right? So we'll go to Kali Linux. I've hosted my Kali Linux in VirtualBox. So I'll go to Kali Linux here. I'll give my username and password. Now I'll go to terminal, type Nmap, and the tool, it opens. Fine. So I'll give the command, I'll give -st -v -a-o, and I'll give kct.ac.in. These are the different operators which Nmap has. Nmap has n number of operators which can be used for any type of scanning. So I'm saying here perform a TCP scan, and this is verbose mode. Verbose mode will give you detailed output. It is going to give you what is happening in the background, so the output will be detailed. -a is an aggressive scan, which is going to perform OS, which is going to perform service scan, and which is also going to perform tracer. Fine. So it is going to give you the OS which is being used, the services which are running in kct.ac.in, and it can also give you tracer, the exact path taken. And -o is specifically for the operating system, to find out the operating system. You can give your domain name here, or you can give your IP address here. You can do whatever you want. Fine. To be very specific, I should be giving the IP address of the fees payment server. I should be giving this. I don't want to go deep into this, so I'm just giving a random search here. So I'll give kct.ac.in and enter. It is going to take some time. It is going to take some time, and it is going to scan all the ports, and it has discovered open ports, 3 ports. Fine. And this is going to take some time. I've already done this. Okay, I have this here. Fine. I've already completed this scan. Let me stop the other scan. Yes, let me stop this. So here I've used the same scan here, nmap-st-vao-kct.ac.in. So now the scan is complete. It has given us the open ports. That is perfectly fine. When you scroll down, it's showing yes, there is an open port, HTTP, and it's hosted in Cloudflare. So the service what they are using is Cloudflare, and not this. We'll scroll down here, scroll down. It is going to give you a lot of information, and it says HTTP robots.txt one disallowed entry. Fine. It has one disallowed entry, and what is a disallowed entry? It says WP admin. So they have a disallowed entry for WP admin, and robots.txt is used to stop Google and other search engines from crawling inside the website and finding out a lot of details. So what you can do, we have our target here, which is www.kct.ac.in, and nmap says here robots.txt entry, we have one disallowed entry. So how to access robots.txt of KCT file, KCT website? I will just type robots.txt here. If you type this, you'll be able to access this. So let me go here, and the end of the URL, I'll type robots.txt, enter, and see here, you're able to see this. It has a disallowed entry. And what is a disallowed entry? It is WP admin. This was the exact result what we got in nmap. It said there is one disallowed entry in robots.txt, and that is WP admin. Nmap can also be used for finding out vulnerabilities like this. So this is disallowed, means this particular directory is disallowed. So what I can do, I can access this manually. I can type WP admin, which is being disallowed, and I'll see if it is working or not. See, and let me go here, WP admin. Yes, it says WordPress, and it is asking for username and password. Fine, perfect. What in case if you want this page to be secure, you want to keep this as internal usage, you can go for different criteria here. I will go for this, not KCT. We go for PhD Tech. No, SK. This is another college website, and let me try to access robots.txt. In case if robots.txt is there, okay, the college has robots.txt, but you're not able to access this. The first security measure should be like this. Anyone from outside, they should not be able to access your robots.txt, so that they get the internal structure of your server. Fine. They should get an error like this, or you can also go for, we'll try some other website. We'll go for this site, evno.co.in. We'll check robots.txt is present, enter. Okay, it is not present, but we see they are using Firebase, JSON. We should be getting all these information. We should be getting just a simple error message like this. The error message shouldn't be shedding out a lot of details like this. That's okay. Right? So robots.txt was the first thing which we have identified. Then when you scrolling down, HTTP methods being used, perfect, and signature algorithm. Scroll down. Okay. Yes. So Nmap has given us few details about our target. When you scan, you can also be getting a lot of other results. Here it says it is guessing device type, and the operating system can be Linux. Okay, and this is Tracet, perfect. And yes, so when you run this for vulnerable website, it is going to give you a lot of other details, right? A lot of other details which can be useful and which can be used for further types of attack. Now, Having said this, after this scanning, we'll do vulnerability assessment. What do you mean by vulnerability assessment? This is where an attacker, after grabbing all these details, after grabbing all the technical details through information gathering, after grabbing subdomain enumeration details, and after he has done scanning, now he has got the exact picture of his target. He knows what kind of information or what type of configuration is used by his target, and now he goes for vulnerability assessment. What do you mean by vulnerability assessment? Vulnerability assessment is where he looks for weakness. He looks for weakness in the site. Why? Only with the weakness, what he identifies here, he will be able to attack or he'll be able to exploit the website. So vulnerability assessment, probably we'll go for this tool here, which is okay, web vulnerability scanners. And web vulnerability scanners, we'll go for Nikto. This is Nikto here, and I'll type. Okay, let me open this in a normal terminal so that I can zoom in. This tab Nikto-host. I'll type https://kct.ac.in. Enter. So Nikto is a vulnerability scanner. Nikto is a tool which is present in Kali Linux. It's a vulnerability scanner. It's saying the target IP is this, okay, and port is this, SSL information, and server. What server is they have used? They are used Cloudflare. And what will be the output of Nikto? Nikto is going to show you what vulnerabilities do we have in kct.ac.in, or in simple terms, it is going to tell you what weakness does this site have, and with that weakness, how you can attack. So it says XSS protection header is not defined, which means there is a possibility of performing cross-site scripting attack on this website. Right? We'll scroll down. Okay, cookie created without a secure flag. Okay, does not match certificate's name. Okay, there is a certificate mismatch error here. It says kct.ac.in does not match certificate names sna.cloudflaressl.com. Great. And yes, it is going to give you information like this. Or you can also go for web-based tools. This is the OS-based tool here. OS-based tool, what we have used is Nikto. And you can go for web-based tool. And one web-based tool, what you can go for is this. You can go for immuniweb.com, or you can go for sitecheck.sucuri.net. You can go for this. You can go for any website. Immuniweb.com is going to take some time to give you results, but still, we'll go here. Okay. Immuniweb.com. Immuniweb. WebSec. So I'm going to enter the URL here, www.kct.ac.in. Enter. It is performing the test. Yes. Now we'll also go for sitecheck.security.net. Here I'll give kct.ac.in. SiteCheck is going to give you immediate results. It is going to show you, it says there is no malware found in the website. Perfect. Site is not blacklisted. Okay. And the IP address is this, and it is using WordPress 5.3.6. I told you, when you have a version detail like this, it is okay to know that KCT is using WordPress, but it is not okay to know the version. In case if an attacker knows the version of a particular technology being used, what he can do, he'll go to Google, he'll simply type this and he can give vulnerabilities. He can search for vulnerabilities or weakness for this particular version. And when you open this, see, I'll go for descending. Okay, what kind of weakness? This particular version of WordPress is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. So any type of cross-site scripting which you want to test in this website, yes, it's going to work, right? And this is a score here. So when you know the version of the particular technology being used, then that is being vulnerable here. Now, here it says the site is medium security risk, perfect. And when you scroll down, website has a firewall, great. And it says missing security header for clickjacking and security header to prevent content type sniffing. So these are the different vulnerabilities which are present in this website and which KCT should consider to rectify it. And yes, we have got the result here. It says summary of this desktop version, and it is giving us a score. It is B minus for this particular website. And when you scroll down, web server security, it is okay, it is good. Scroll down, it says CMS fingerprinting, okay. Privacy policy was not found on the website. That is a misconfiguration or weakness, and seems to be present. Okay, no website firewall is detected, perfect. And header was not sent by the server, okay. So you tend to get a lot of weakness about this site, right? Now when you want to take this further, and go for tools like this, let me close this. I'll go for a specific tool which is web crawlers and directory brute force. It is going to crawl, it is going to brute force all the server directories, and it is going to give me results. A simple tool can be Derby. What can I do? I'll type Derby, enter, and we get Derby tool which is open here. I'll type Derby, I'll give https://kct.ac.in, enter. So now Derby is going to share. It is not running, unable to determine correctly. kct.ac.in. Yes, it is kct.ac.in. We'll open this here, kct.ac.in, enter. Yes, perfect. Copy this, Derby, run, enter. Okay, now it is running. It is testing with the different directories which can be present. So let's give it some time. It is going to run and it is going to give you results based on what directories of this particular site is vulnerable. You can go for this, or you can also go for a graphical user interface tool, which can be like this, Uniscan. Uniscan is one tool which is graphical like this, and here you can use kct.ac.in, and what test you have to perform: check for directory, check for files, and check for robots.txt. I can give start scan, but let's wait for this. Okay, see, we have a directory which says 10, which is vulnerable, which is weak. We have a directory called 11. Directory is a folder. It's a folder which can give you a lot of information. And let's see, we have 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll take this 4. We'll take 4, and it says this particular directory kct.ac.in/4/ is vulnerable. So if I need to confirm this, I'll go to KCT site and /4/ is vulnerable. That is what Derby told us. Enter. And okay, we'll give it this here, kct.ac.in/4, enter. And yes, you have something like this. You have a picture here, perfect. And What can you do with this picture? When you look at the URL, when you look at this URL, it is like this. You have it like this. So what is the directory structure here? Inside this website, you have a folder called WP content. Inside WP content, you have uploads folder. Inside that, you have 2020. Inside that, you have this folder. And inside this folder, you have this file called 4.png. Now, what I can do, I can move one folder ahead to check if I'm able to access this folder, uploads, or if I'm able to access WP content. In case if I'm able to access, then the site is weak for path traversal or directory traversal attack. So what I'll do, I'll just try to copy this. I'll try to access this, right? Uploads. So for this, let me delete this 2020, delete this uploads. See here, you're able to access the directory. 2020, you have all the directories here. 11, you have all the images you are able to access. Now you have the list of details, the names of, it can be the staff detail, okay, or it can be there. These details can be used for brute forcing usernames and passwords again. Fine, they have all these information. This information should not be accessible through a browser like this. And Derby is giving us all these details. It's an automated tool which can give you a lot of details like this. And admin folder directory is there. You have academic, you have so many directories. You can try accessing all these directories to check if it is vulnerable or not. I'll close this. We'll go for Uniscan. I've given kct.ac.in check directory start scan. Okay. This. We'll close this. We'll start this again. Web application analysis, scanners, brute force, Uniscan, kct.ac.in. Start scan. Okay, we'll try to give www.kct.ac.in. We'll give https :/kct.ac.in. Okay, there's something wrong with the tool. But again, this can give you a graphical user interface of what is going to happen. Fine. So this, until this, you can call this as a vulnerability assessment, or you're trying to exploit what is wrong with the server. And after this comes exploitation. We don't want to go deep into exploitation because exploitation will be offensive. It needs to actually crack into the server. Till whatever we have done, we have not used in detail tools. We have not used in-depth tools, but just for you guys to understand how an attacker is going to operate or what methodologies he is going to use. Why are we seeing this? Because tomorrow, if you want to create a website, right? You want to create a website, and obviously this will have a web server here. Fine. You are a developer, you are a designer, or you are the admin who has designed this website and who is maintaining this server. Now, what kind of security input you need to have, security knowledge which you need to have? You need to have a knowledge of how an attacker is going to attack your server. Right? This is offensive knowledge. This is offensive knowledge what you have here, and this knowledge is needed not to attack other websites, but in case if you have this skill set, and when you're working for this particular site called kct.ac.in, what you can do, you can try all these attacks on your own server here. When you try all these attacks on your own server, that you call it as pen testing, because you are approved to do few things. So you are testing your server. This is penetration testing. You are trying to test your server, and you are identifying flaws. You are identifying weakness. Fine. You are identifying vulnerabilities. With this, what we will do, when you identify a lot of details like this, probably you will find a patch and you will rectify all these vulnerabilities, so that when someone tries to attack, they'll not be able to browse through your directories. They will not be able to browse through your sensitive information, or they'll not be able to grab anything which you feel is important and private from your server. For that, yes, you need to perform pen testing on your own server. And for this, yes, we need offensive knowledge. It is not that you are learning how an attacker will attack, what methodologies he uses, and what tools he uses. This is really bad. No, it is not bad. Offensive learning is much needed. Only when you have knowledge about offensive tools and methodologies, you can protect and you can secure your own server here. Right? So cyber attacks and cyber crimes can happen like this. Cyber online like online attacks can happen like this. And cyber crime, in case if this attacker here has done something, he has deleted all these data, he has exported usernames and passwords, or he has exported or he has downloaded credit card details, debit card details of the customers, or the user login details along with password, then that comes under cybercrime. We have different laws which cyber laws, different types of cyber laws which speaks about different types of crime. Say for example, if you create a fake profile, creating a fake profile is perfectly fine with today's internet users. But when you create a fake profile and when you use it for a wrong purpose, you might be in jail for 3 years. Fine. This is one cyber law. And probably when you give repeated friend request, this is a girl here, this is a girl, and in Facebook, if you repeatedly give friend request to a particular person, she ignores this. Again, you give this. Again, you give a friend request. When you give repeated friend request to a person to annoy her, then probably again you can be sentenced up to 1 year of imprisonment. So we have different cyber laws based on the degree of crime. Based on degree of crime, what you have done. Yes, we have laws which can be legal, and yes, it's very severe. Cybercrime is a very serious crime in India, right? So I think I've given you some basic information. I don't want to bore you guys with history of hacking, what is white hat, black hat, and what are the different statistics of hacking, how much percentage. I don't want to bore you with those steps. So I've given you some input which can be useful, which you can use it for testing your own server or your own website and securing your website. Fine. And as I told, my name is Shankara Subramanian. I'm the founder and CEO of Prompt Infotech. I have 15 years of experience in this field, and I've worked for different corporates, different government agencies in providing pen testing services, forensics. I've worked for cybercrime cases, in solving cybercrime cases, and I'm available in all social media, in Instagram and I'm in Facebook. In case if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. I'll stop sharing my screen. Yes.
Hello, sir. Do I'm audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So very great. Thanks for your valuable time,
Okay.
and it was a very great session. Thanks to the audience for joining the session. Also, I want to introduce the Sankara sir. He is the founder and the CEO at the Prompt Infotech Coimbatore. He had also had a great 15-year experience in pen testing, ethical hacking, and cyber forensics. He also works closely with the government agencies, cybercrime, police department, and all the other IT companies. Thanks for the audience for joining the session, and also, sir, thanks to you also for giving your valuable time to us.
Thank you. Thanks for your time and patience.